So I spent a good chunk of the morning on Facebook talking with one woman who wanted to use like styrofoam kind of plastic stuff from her office supply closet as a mask filter, and I kind of realized that I needed to step up my game a little bit and kind of go through some of the stuff that I learned. Yes, there's millions of kinds of industrial grade filters out of there. Great. None of that matters. I'm just going to tell you, none of that matters. So primary goal of a mask these days in COVID-19 days, you're not doing pollution, doesn't matter. N95 doesn't matter. N99 doesn't matter because the actual viral particle is in that 99th percentile. So in that little tiny, it's itty bitty. So itty bitty. So still social distance, still stay at home, still wash your dang hands. And now we're wearing masks. And because that's the thing we're doing right now, I'm going to share sort of my mask collection from China and a couple other, from Burning Man and a couple other places, so you can see some that fit, some that don't, some things to look for, some things not to look for, things that I prefer in designs for me, and so that you can kind of maybe get a better idea. So first things first, masks are not designed to protect you, they're designed to protect the world from you. Like, it is a small act of love that you are doing to the world, for the world. You are not fearfully protecting myself, I'm going to get sick, I'm going to get sick. So don't approach people who are wearing masks as if they are getting sick. Approach them as if they are actually demonstrating love for the world. So that's super important. Hi, this is Future Hapto. I was also reviewing what I was writing and reading and saying and missed a couple things that I want to say. Important thing about the masks is you might want to have a couple of them. Have a couple of them. Reason being that if they get damp, they become more diseasey, and you should probably switch it out. Also, then one could be in the wash, and then you can wear one, and then it's in the wash, and then you wear the other one. Second part is that your mask needs to be yours. It is a personal item. It should not be shared. I mean, you can wash them and then transfer them. That's fine. It's not a big deal. But personal item. Think like toothbrush levels. You know. So, oh my God, it's Future Hapto again. Oh, if you get any of these disposable ones, for the love of crap, people, take them off with the ears, fold them maybe in half, and then put them in the trash. Throwing them on the ground? Don't freaking do that. Vector of disease. Then, yeah, so I basically had ended up on a plane to China doing some research for this particular mask, which was a prototype pre sort of other job about, for cycling and, you know, raving and other partying. And so I had made this pattern. This silver fabric is not breathable, so I cut holes in it so that it could be breathable. Lined it with kind of a satiny material picked up at Joann's. It's nothing. The whole point of this mask, or rather masks in this stage, is to keep my sneeze holes from my Stufftouchers. Sneeze holes here are on the inside, Stufftouchers are on the outside, so that when I reach for my phone, I reach for the railing, I reach for that sandwich, I reach for that box of cereal that I don't want, that there was perhaps a little extra layer between me and the world. That's it. It's not perfect, and you acknowledge its imperfections, but you take the step anyway because that's what love does. Future Hapto says stay to the end to learn how to tie a bandana in a way that doesn't smush your nose. Okay? So, this was the pattern that I came up with. I'm pretty proud of it. It's pretty comfortable. It makes a lot of sense for me. I would make a second layer for sort of breathing purposes, but right now, again, it does the thing. Keeps my sneeze holes on one side and my Stufftouchers on the other. So some other masks that I came across, this was a pitta mask. This is popular in Japan. All the cool kids on the plane from Beijing had this mask. It's really, you know, you can kind of see through it. To me, it feels less effective. That's all I can say, is that it feels less effective, and it's definitely not effective against COVID. So, but it's cool, it's comfortable, it's reasonable, typically kind of affordable, although right now I've seen them on Amazon for a lot of money. All right, so future Hapto would also like to remind you of an added benefit of wearing a mask. Again, in line with the whole idea that you are protecting the world from you. So, for example, your average household toilet can throw poop into the air for 25 feet. When you sneeze, it comes out at a significant amount of miles per hour or kilometers per hour, that you can probably Google and learn how far your sneezes are going before you even realize what the heck's going on. So this is really super useful to know, is that if you can keep your sneezes from going 25 feet and maybe only like 4 or 5, or like maybe only like to about here, you're doing great. Good job. So other things that you want to watch for. So this is a Mio mask. It's out of New Zealand or something. There's lots of masks that have filters. So for example, this one has a filter that came with it that fits in here, but it doesn't cover the whole mask. Also, this mask is pretty much not breathable. Like, you can put your face in here and you're like, so, you know, adding a filter seems silly, which is why I didn't add it. And then also it doesn't fit the whole mask. So this one, if I were to crack this one open, you would actually find the whole filter covers the whole thing. The straps on this feel a little bit thick, but that's okay. Nose bridge is solid. This one is designed to be as close to a fabric version of an N95 as it can be. So that's important to know. So folks who are trying to like find filter pockets and find these on Amazon, like, just knock it off. Extra layer fabric, good to go. That's all that you can hope for, because also you don't know what this is anymore. You don't know. This could be just an extra layer of fabric. So because you don't know, you're just going to lull yourself into a sense of security and think that you're going to get away with stuff that you really shouldn't be getting away with. So do your best, is what I'm saying. Future Hapto in an N95 mask says, make sure you leave the N95s for the people who need them. And until we have a huge freaking stockpile of them, you don't need that level of protection. Unless you do need that level of protection, because you might be a doctor, you might be watching this, and you might be a doctor or a dentist or somebody who works in the field of first response, or somebody who is putting themselves at risk, in which case, freaking heroes, you rock! The medical mask types, like these ones here, they have this waterfall pleat that I think I explained, and then this is a different kind of pleat. This is a box pleat. This is actually my preferred pleat, because it has a very clear inside and outside, and also it has just a smoother look to me. So and then it has like little room for your lips to breathe without creating like a whole sort of hammock of mask. Other things to note. Watch for the thickness of the elastic. I would recommend actually finding or making a couple of them, so that you have different pressure points, and you can change them out as you need to based on what your body needs and how much you're spending outside. So, you know, we've got like this one here. This is great. You can see it's moving, which means the seal is decent and it's pulling air through the fabric, which is the point. However, this exhale is busted. So if I'm exhaling very sharply, I should actually feel a little bit of air leave there. But it's not the case. You can also see here this little sort of sliding rubber piece that adjusts that elastic strap and is really quite ingenious. You could probably actually do that with a couple little dental rubber bands in a pinch. Because God knows where they got those. Other things that I've noticed, this is a good sort of like, this is a kind of a minky, kind of super fuzzy, you know, cute thing. But it also has this chin shape piece, which I'm particularly fond of. Has little rubber straps. Goes on like this, no big deal. It's very fuzzy. And then the only thing I would recommend with something like this, especially if you want to use mask for child, like get a piece of string, tie it together. We all know about tying things with strings with children. So tie it so that if they feel uncomfortable, they can just drop it. And it doesn't have to be this like hanging thing that is causing emotional distress and then parental distress, and nobody's got time for that. Future Hapto also reminds you, do not just throw your gloves on the ground. Someone has to pick them up. They're not particularly biodegradable. Knock it off. So, also, remember to take them off and to treat them as if they are a surface that then you can peel off and then toss in the trash. So the problem here with gloves is I've seen people get their gas with their gloves on, and then they go and they touch their car, and then they take their gloves off. Like, remember, there is stuff that's yours and stuff that is the world's. Keep yourself to the world, to yourself, and the world to itself. So when you're done touching the world, remove the gloves without touching yourself. Grab the cuff, pull on it, turn it inside out so no part of it is touching. When you get about halfway through, grab the same, turn it inside out, and then in the trash. Goodbye. Then only touch things that belong to you. This was a mask I picked up in a Balinesian market. It's kind of a Muslim and Islamic style, which I think is pretty freaking great. So you put it on, no big deal. You can hook it on your ears if you want. But the primary purpose is then it goes and it gets tied behind the head. And once it's tied behind the head, it stays within the ear box, but doesn't create any pressure points behind the ears. This one is made out of some knit t-shirt material, and there's something on the inside. Don't know what it is. You know, you generally just don't know. Like, I don't know what's in this one. I don't know what's in this one. I just genuinely don't know. So that's important to know, is that what you don't know is what matters. But again, the point is not that you're filtering out anything or getting any added benefit. You are merely protecting your stuff touchers from your sneeze holes. The end. So, but you can get cute ones. You know, you can make cute ones. They're cute. You know, they've got little doohickeys on them. They're fun. I do prefer the patterns that have the chin piece more than I prefer this one. This is a little bit stretchy and comfortable, so it actually fits very nicely. But also do be careful of masks that are designed in Asia, because Asian noses are a little bit different than a Western nose, and you'll start to notice some of them where there's a lot of pressure on the nose. So just be aware of that. Future Hapto reminds you to keep your stuff touchers away from your sneeze holes. And wash your dang hands, you filthy animal. Again, you know, PM 2.5 or N95 or N99, none of that matters. Nothing short of a hazmat suit is going to protect you from the disease getting into your system if it chooses. But what you can do is protect how you are controlling its spreading. So that's important to know. Future Hapto would like to acknowledge that this is a raging debate, and that because the internet is involved, you're wrong. Everyone's wrong. So do the best you can. Yeah, so watching, you know, use behind the head straps for ear pain. You know, there's lots of options out there. There's loads of patterns and loads of people being innovative with that. Do again recommend inside fabric, outside fabric, so that you know kind of what's going on there. But the possibilities are totally endless. So say you're purchasing some fabric, you can make it high quality cotton, you can make it several layers, you can make it a lot of things. Again, the goal, keep your sneeze holes away from your stuff touchers. And you probably want to keep the air that comes out of your sneeze hole a little bit to yourself, you know, like a really good secret. So if you need some sort of guidance as to figuring out some sort of system that would work for you, you can try a candle in front of your mask. I'm holding it maybe about yay far. And if I can blow, exhale sharply, and move this candle a lot, I should probably think of another option for this effort. However, if I change this mask, hey, when you're making your mask, try to iron it. You'll find the construction is much easier and you have a lot of options that are available to you. But don't make it so complicated for yourself that you create something that you don't wear, or your friends don't wear, or your parents don't wear. Create something that people are going to wear, because that is the first barrier. And then the second part is making sure that you're not going crazy trying to make it perfect or make it right or make it so like, don't source N95 material. Like, just don't. It's not going to benefit you in the same way it's going to benefit a medical staff. I'm also going to talk a little bit about why everyone's obsessing about the material of the mask. Cotton is great. Reasons why: because the medical establishment uses it. It comes in lots of pretty colors. It's generally pretty high quality. It's generally pretty affordable. But you're going to use what you can. You're going to use what makes you feel good, and you're going to use what you're going to wear. Because the mask that you wear is better than a mask that you won't wear. And it's still also, you know, it's just a numbers game as far as they're concerned. So if you are, however, making masks for a hospital in your area or a medical treatment facility in your area, it's super important to remember, do what the hospital asks for. Do not just kind of like make a bunch of stuff and throw it at them. They have systems, they have ways, they have very specific processes that are involved in working with that organization. So ask them for what they need. If not, I'm sure at this point we have so many options available for people to discuss with various hospitals, and people will start to come with their own mask, which will be kind of great. What you have to like to acknowledge is just because you are wearing a mask doesn't mean you get to violate your stay-at-home order. Stay at home. Do not go to Walmart and annoy everybody. Don't do it. Don't touch all the things just because you need to touch stuff. And if you need to go running, but maybe take the path less traveled, because that guy wrote that poem and it made all the difference. So anyway, also, bandanas. This is just a little tip, I guess. Bandanas are kind of a first offense while people are like figuring out what they're doing with masks, and hopefully this video is helpful for that. So you fold it like this. Usually you just kind of go like this, but my recommendation is to fold it once and then fold it back on itself like this. And then you tie it, and once you've tied it, you can pull that pleat apart, and that will give you a little bit of give in the nose that will keep you from like feeling like you've smushed your face or flattened it too much. So yeah, stay at home, make some masks, keep your distance. You know, we've got this. I'm pretty sure that we've got this. So and then just remember that you're not protecting yourself from others, so don't ostracize others you see who are protecting you from them. All right, thank you so much, and I hope this helps.
Future Hapto says, do the thing, and remember to keep your stuff touchers from your sneeze holes. Bye.